Hey everybody, welcome to Hills and Gills. Today we're going to be tying up a live bait jig. Well, this is going to be a crappie type one that we're going to be tying up. You know, people fishes for walleye, smallmouth, crappie, using bait shop minnows or using leeches or night crawlers. But if you got some hackle feather and got some bar jig hooks, you can go ahead and make you some live bait type ones. Like this one that we're going to be tying up here today. This is just a hackle feather. You're going to get that color, whether you want to go with a chartreuse, a pink, you want to go with an orange, red, whatever color that you're needing to be using in your favorite bodies of water. And then tip it with that minnow, tip it with that leech. And you can see how that hook is exposed and how thin hackle feather is. I got a paddle tail to demonstrate with. I don't have no minnows here in my YouTube room. And then you just hook that minnow on, hook that leech on, whatever you're fishing with. I usually tie a bunch of these up from like 1 32 ounce all the way up to a 1/4 ounce, depending on what type of fish I may be fishing for. So I babbled on longer enough, explained why I've done this. Let me show you real fast how to tie up some of these live bait jigs. Up here, we got a 1 32 head on a number 1 sickle hook here. Super simple to do. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do it here. We do it for walleye jigs, smallmouth jigs, white bass, crappie. And we're using a red do it today. And we're going to just go back just about a 1/4 of a way and then right back up behind the jig head with our thread here. I'm using a red. I like red in these types of ties. And we're going to be using a hackle feather. Go down about halfway, exposing that stem right there, just like so. And then I'm going to just take my scissors and cut the excess off and just about right there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I the stem pointing back. And I'm going to pinch it in with my thumb and my index finger. All the way down that excess, that exposed stem there. Right on that collar that I built up. I'm going to come right back up to the feather. And then I'm just going to work my way right around it with a couple of turns. Now at this point, my little tool here, and I'm just going to start spinning this. And you can, like I said, you can go as thick as you want, or as few turns. It's left up to your preference. That looks pretty good right there to me. Now I'm just going to take my thread and I'm just going to work my way down it, wide, tight turns, and then right back up to right back behind that jig head. Now I've got that hackle locked in. I can go ahead and cut the excess off here. And now all I want to do is just go ahead and start pulling these feathers back here that I spun out. There we go. And then I'm just going to take my thread and I'm just going to start turning with tight turns going down it. And then, now at this point you can make it as wide out or you can tighten it right up toward the shank of that hook. So what I usually do, I'll just take tight wraps and work my way down, and about every turn I'll look at it. And that right there looks pretty good to me. So I want it to about right there. Now I'm going to work my way right back up to back behind that jig head. Build that red collar up a little bit because that is a color that is added to this chartreuse and blue. Like a wounded type color. And then we're going to go ahead and do 4 turns. We're going to get this trimmed off. Then I'm going to take my UV resin. And I'm just going to go all around that collar. This is the clear hard. So it really puts off a shine. And it just makes that red pop out. Just build it up to where it kind of looks like glass, if you want to say. And then while I'm doing that, and getting my light, I'll just keep it turning where it won't drip, or make a drip, that is, and then I'll just start going around it. You can see the smoke hopefully coming off at where it is. This UV light is hardening up that resin. And there we go, a live bait jig. Excellent walleye, white bass, crappie, smallmouth video, guys. Hope you give us thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We'd love to have you here at Hills and Gills. Check out our social media links down in the description. And at the end of this video, check out some of our jig ties and whatnots, our last video, and so on. Until next time, stay safe out there on the water. Try some of these live bait hackle jigs here. I think you'll love them. And we'll see you right back here in the next one.